So,
meeting again?
we have one more meeting, and you know how difficult this was to schedule. We'll figure out a way to do it, but we have one more meeting. In that meeting, we're going to sort of final logistics and talking about some tools that you can use. But before you go, don't leave yet. Readings. This is hard to read. The colors didn't work here. Strong suggestion that you read either Lonely Planet or The Rough Guide on the places that we go. They're both good. They're both different. There are 4 books that are, and I'm not asking you to read all 4 books, don't worry. There are 4 books that are assigned for the study abroad program there on culture in Morocco. I have one chapter from this book, which is called Split Identity, which I posted on the Moodle site, and I've got a few copies before the printer broke today. I've got a few copies, about 5 copies here. I really encourage everybody to read that because it does this wonderful encapsulation in about 20 pages of the various cultural identities that occur in Morocco. So the Berber, the French, the religious, and you can read the whole book. The book is fabulous. There's a good chapter on women's issues in Morocco. There's some good historical stuff on the French in Morocco. It's a great book. This is a novel looking at 4 people in Morocco and I have not read it yet, but it's supposed to be quite wonderful. Hope and Other Dangerous Pursuits. There's a link to this on the website.
Is there this list of books on Moodle?
It is on the Moodle site. This book was also recommended in and out of Morocco, and it's about a border community in Morocco. And that's about Panama. You know what that is. And the performance, the performance of human rights in Morocco. Morocco has come a long ways in the last 20 or 30 years, but there's still some serious human rights issues. And so if you're interested in those. These are the 4 books that are recommended by the study abroad program. Yeah?
Those books I see are on Interlibrary Loan.
Mm-hmm.
So that is saying that they are not in our library.
They are not in our library. I have bought copies of all of them, and I'm willing to lend them out after I've read them. I've also have these until like November 3rd, 17th. So if people want to look at them and promise to get them back. We were just talking about how we've lent out books and never gotten them back, so I do that a little cautiously.
Might gank them after you. Not gank, but borrow after you.
Yeah.
I work in the library, I work study, so after
Yeah.
you turn them in, maybe I'll
Okay.
hold them before they send them back.
Yeah.
Along those lines, when you say there are things on Moodle that are there temporarily for copyright reasons, how long will they be?
Until we go.
Until we go.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So what are we required?
So, I know, there's always that question. What I am, you're required to read, you're required, Don's waiting for this. You're required to read whatever relates to your cultural model. You are required to read this chapter around cultural identity in Morocco. I deeply suggest that you read the Cafe Cultural article because we're going to be meeting with the guy and he's going to be talking about that. And then I mentioned these other 2. I recommend that you read either the introduction section of The Lonely Planet or The Rough Guide, and these books, the information on there, you're not required to read them, but if you want to read them and share your knowledge, I encourage you to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Is that fair, Linda?
So that reading that just got passed out is only for some people?
No, that's for everybody, but see, the printer broke.
Oh, okay.
So it's also posted on Moodle.
What's the name of that?
It's Marvina Howe. It's a chapter called Split Identity in this book called Morocco. And I have it.
So also, as we finish reading, we just pass it on to the other page.
Yeah. Here it is. I should have moved it up here, but it's Marvina Howe, chapter on split identity. I'm actually going to move it up here. But
David, if the folks that are doing the independent study, you and I had spoken about doing like a one chapter or an outline from a program design book in IE, and it'll be something that you would need to read for the spring term, and just be doing it earlier because you'd be looking at program design sooner rather than later.
other questions? Sign up soon for your cultural model thing. If anybody wants to join Ken on the cultural marginality, let me know.